If we want to think about our calling as Christians, I think the best way to think about it is that if you're a Christian, you have three callings, two of which are far more important than the third. So the first is to bear the image of God in the world. This is actually a calling we share with every other human being, whatever their faith, however perfectly or imperfectly they're living it out. We are here in the world to reflect the Creator into the world, to care for the world the Creator would, and then to reflect the world back to the Creator, to offer creation's praises to its Maker. We play this priestly role in creation of caring for creation and representing creation back to the one who made it in His image. And so this actually covers a great deal of what we do on a daily basis. Most of what we do on a daily basis is to bear the image of God as we're preparing food, as we're interacting with our neighbors, as we're teaching or working or writing or studying music, whatever we're doing with our days. I think most of what we're doing appropriately is bearing the image. And so that's just our human calling that we share with everybody. But then to be Christian is to be part of a very specific mission. God calls out of human history a people, first the people Israel, and then the new Israel that we call the church, to be part of a second layer of calling, which is to restore the image. So we bear the image as human beings, but as members of the people of God who are on this mission, we are part of restoring the image. And this means that our attention has to be especially focused on places where the image has been broken and lost. And the biblical framework for how the image is broken and lost is idolatry and injustice. When we make false gods, we distort the image of God. When we play false gods, which is injustice, when we lord it over others, when we seek to benefit from systems of injustice, we are essentially breaking the image of God. And God's people are sent to the places where idols are most powerful and injustice is most entrenched. And we don't settle just for bearing the image. We actually actively act to restore the image of God where it's been lost or where it's being lost. Those two almost encompass everything we're called to do. And then there's just one more calling that you have, and that's what I like to think of as your contingent calling. Contingent is this interesting word from philosophy. It means something that could be otherwise, but just happens to be the way it is, and is dependent on many other things being the way they are. Some things are necessary, but other things are just contingent. They just are the way they are, and they could be another way. And that's almost everything we generally think of as our calling. So my calling is to be a writer, sometimes a speaker, to be a father, husband, son, among other things. And each of those could easily be otherwise. I could be widowed tomorrow and no longer be a husband. I could lose my children and no longer be an active father. I could lose my job and not be an editor, my day job. And this is true of all of what we think of as our callings. They're all contingent. They could be otherwise. And they very easily could change. But all we're called to do is today, in that contingent calling, ask, how can I bear the image today? And how can I restore the image today? And if you've done that, you've fulfilled your calling as a human being and as a Christian.